What's up, YouTube? Tenchi Arizonia, the angry Dracolope of the Jackalopecrew here, and today I'm going to be looking at the Amazon listing for the NEDFOSS Tiger that was recently reviewed by JS Bladecraft. Now, he did two videos on it, one overview and one test video, and I can tell you after watching the test just now that it performed okay until it came to the tip test. Now, tip tests are a controversial topic in the knife community. I personally don't think they should be done, especially not with this kind of blade, but I will go over that when I show you the Amazon listing in a moment. Anyway, Joe, if you had scrolled further down in the Amazon listing for the NEDFOSS Tiger, you would have seen some contradictory information. And I'm going to show you that information in a moment, so stay tuned. Okay, so as you can see, we are looking at the NEDFOSS Tiger Series buoy on Amazon. Now, I'm using the link directly from JS Bladecraft's two-part review of this knife, and quite funnily, the video that NEDFOSS are using for their marketing materials is yours, Joe. Which, well, I'm just going to say it. With some of the contradictions I've found regarding this knife, that is not a good look. Now, it does still have good reviews, 4.5 stars out of 5. And I'm going to show you the contradictions. Now, you can see here, 10.5-inch outdoor knife, sturdy large survival knife, provides greater strength and reliability than folding knives, weighs tough and stable in your hand, unique radian and force of hunting blade is more suitable for cutting when you trek in the jungles and woods. That's just typical marketing jargon, which means absolutely nothing. And it seems to be rather broken English. Razor sharp clip point blade. NEDFOSS Tiger fixed blade knives are made of premium stainless steel. Precise cryogenic tempering for long-lasting durability, corrosion resistance and edge retention. Good for piercing, detail work and cutting in tight places. Well, I'm going to say premium stainless steel is a massive contradiction, and you'll see why later in this. And good for piercing, well, if you saw Joe's review, JS Bladecraft's second part of the review, that is, hell no, it's not good for piercing. You will bend or break off the tip. Comfortable grip and balance. Classic and non-slip wooded handle. Has palm swells for a comfortable grip. The sturdy pommel guard offers a perfect combination of beauty and balance. Well, it is a beautiful knife, I'll give them that. I can't speak to the balance as I don't have one in hand, but this video is just bringing up some contradictions in their marketing materials. Convenient carry. The large tactical knife includes a high quality protective leather knife sheath with snap fastener. The integrated belt loop allows you to carry the survival knife securely and safely on your belt. Well, what is it? Is it a survival knife or is it a tactical knife? Make your mind up. I don't think it's either, honestly, because of the blade steel and the ergonomics, which, Joe, you can attest to this. The ergonomics are not great. Dimension. NEDFOSS Tiger hunting knives, another contradiction. Overall length 10.5 inches, blade length 6 inches, thickness 4.5 millimeters, weight 10 ounces. Well, from the image I have here, I can believe 4.5 millimeters. That seems kind of accurate to me. However, we've already got 3 contradictions here. One saying it's a large tactical knife, saying it's a survival knife. Here we go. Large tactical knife right here. Survival knife here. And hunting knife here. So there's 3 contradictions. When I scroll down, you'll see another 2 contradictions because they're saying it's premium stainless steel. Here we are, premium stainless steel. It is not a premium stainless steel in any way, shape or form. And that is just false advertising. Okay, I understand it's a $30 knife, but you can't be putting out false information like that, and you definitely cannot be putting out contradictions. Now, here's the piece of the page that Joe showed, and he scrolled down in his video to here, to this exact point, and then he scrolled back up. Why? Because if he had continued scrolling down, well, here we are. We've got the Tiger and the Hyenas here. And I have been looking at the other models of knives to compare. So, okay, the blade length is 5 inches, yet it is still listed as a 10.5 inch overall length. So it's either 6 inches with a 4.5 inch handle, or 5 inches with a 5.5 inch handle. Given that the grip barely fit into Joe's hand, I'm going to say it is a 4.5 inch handle with a 5 inch blade. So this information would appear to be the correct information. The blade steel, which was listed as premium up at the top of the page, is 8CR14M. 8CR14 is similar to 440 steel. It's not exactly the same because 440C has better corrosion resistance and edge retention than the 8CR series. Now, like I said, that's contradictions immediately right there, in addition to the other contradictions. So we've contradicted the information at the top of the page here. Now, I'm going to go into a bit about the Hyenas. The Hyenas is a 3.5 inch blade, 8.5 inches overall, so that would be a 5 inch handle. 440C steel, good steel, works well. It's not a super steel, but it works. Blue G10 handles and Kydex sheath. The Kukri they make, 6 inch blade, 11.5 inch overall, so that would be a 5.5 inch handle. 8CR14M. For a Kukri, no, a Kukri is a designated chopper. That is not a suitable steel for a Kukri. A Kukri should be a high carbon steel like 5160, 52100, 1095, 1070, even 1060. Then we've got the Wild Boar, which is a 3.9 inch blade, overall length of 8.66 inches. I'm going to say that's around a 4.5 inch handle, something like that. D2 steel, good steel there. Desert G10 handle, not going to argue there, and it appears to be a flat grind. This appears to be a full flat grind to me. Not really easy to tell from that image. This appears to be a full flat grind. The Kukri appears to be a saber grind, although it could be a hollow grind. It's a bit hard to tell with the image. Now, this is where the biggest contradiction comes in. You can see here this is a clear hollow grind on the NEDFOSS Tiger. You can see it on all their marketing materials. It shows that it is a hollow grind. Hollow ground, hollow ground. It shows specifically well here. It is hollow ground. So let's scroll down to their product information. Now, this is the bit that Joe did not show in his reviews. Blade length, again contradicted from the top of the page, 5 inches. So yes, it is a 5 inch blade, according to this. But at the top of the page it says 6 inches, and it's a 10.5 inch overall, so it's either 5 inches with a 5.5 inch blade, 5.5 inch handle, sorry, or 6 inch blade with a 4.5 inch handle. Like I said, how it fit in Joe's hand, I'm going to say it was a 4.5 inch handle. Clip point blade, well, that's obvious because it's a Bowie knife. Steel, here it's just listed as stainless steel, you can see that. Scroll back up, it is listed as 8CR14M. But the biggest elephant in the room, the grind. Blade edge, convex edge. Despite the fact it is clearly hollow ground on all of their marketing material. Completely the wrong blade grind that they are saying in their product information. This is a hollow ground edge. We'll scroll back up to Joe's video, or at least the thumbnail of it, and look, oh, it's a hollow ground edge, not a convex. So a hollow ground would actually be a concave edge, not a convex edge. So yes, several contradictions in this knife. It is getting good reviews, which is understandable because a lot of people who buy knives at this price point do not know a thing about knives. But anyway, that's just my thoughts. It could be a good knife, but given the fact it failed when Joe done a piercing test and the blade tip bent and then snapped, I could not recommend this knife in good conscience, even if they sent me one for review, because the information is too contradictory. Though that being said, there are knives I actually do like the look of when it comes to these NEDFOSS products. The kukri can go to hell. That's not going to be a good kukri, I can tell you that. 8CR14M, the steel is too soft for a chopper. The hyenas, that could be a good knife. It's a full flat ground blade, 440C, which is a good reliable stainless steel. It's been around for years. Used to be a super steel until better steels came out. And the Wild Boar, a full flat grind apparently with D2 steel. D2 is a good steel. It's also called K110. I have another knife made out of it, which is the Mount Laguna by Wingman 115, made by Work Tough Gear. But anyway, enough rambling. This is the information I have found on the NEDFOSS Tiger hunting buoy, which, as you can see, their official listing is full of contradictions. Anyway, that's been my thoughts on this knife. Let me know what you think. Okay, so normally I would not have done a video in this manner. However, given the fact that Joe did a two-part review on it, JS Bladecraft, I will tag him in this video. Given the fact he did a two-part review on it, an overview and a test, I feel that I have to do this video. Because even in NEDFOSS's official listing for the Tiger series buoy knife, there are contradictions. And I showed you those contradictions. I showed you those in the previous segment where I used OBS to record a screen capture of me showing the contradictions. Now, what do I think of the knife overall, just based on Joe's review? Well, I'm going to be 100% honest here, Joe. And I'm sorry, but I think you did your viewers wrong. You should not have continued testing that knife after you broke the tip, because its primary use is as a hunting knife. It is literally called a Tiger series buoy hunting knife. Now, if that tip had failed, i.e. snapped, while someone was field dressing a deer or a boar or whatever when they went hunting, if the tip snapped, the blade would have slipped from the task it was doing and went into the person using it, either cutting them badly or stabbing into their leg with the broken tip. Not a good thing, and it does not look good when you consider the fact that NEDFOSS are using part of your review in their marketing materials. In my opinion, when that tip bent and then broke when you tried to straighten it, you should have stopped the review at that point. You should have stopped the testing at that point instead of continuing on. And even at that sort of price point, you should not have recommended the knife. It failed catastrophically. The tip snapped off, and it wasn't even under extreme hard use. Now, I understand you wanted to finish the review, but the tip broke off. At a $30 knife, you're saying, well, you can expect that. Morenev of Sweden. More knives. Sub $20 knives in most cases. I can guarantee you they'll handle a tip test better than that. In fact, they do handle a tip test better than that. I've seen it. Like I said, I understand, Joe, you wanted to get the review finished. But given the fact that the knife failed catastrophically, the tip snapped off, at that point you should have stopped the testing. Because in my opinion, the fact that the tip deflected so much on a stab and then proceeded to snap means that it is an unsafe product. Adding to this, there is the contradiction in the product information, which you saw in the previous segment. Contradiction in grind. It is a hollow grind, not a convex. Contradiction in the blade size, which is contradicted 3 times, by the way. Even contradictions in the type of knife that it is. Hunting, survival, tactical. Which is it? Anyway, that's just my opinion, guys. And Joe, if I was you, I would reach out to NEDFOSS and ask them to remove your footage from their marketing materials, especially given the fact that in the second part of your review during the testing, the tip failed catastrophically. Anyway, that's all for now. If you like it, please subscribe, comment and share, and remember, be good to each other.